Food Lab author, Serious Eats editor, and godsend to all home cooks everywhere, Kenji Lopez-Alt has a foolproof recipe for onion rings that, for some reason, doesn't come with a video tutorial. Today, we change that. Get your station ready with a cutting board, chef's knife, large Pyrex measuring cup, and a bowl for your scraps. Now, you need to cut your 2 large yellow onions into discs, which is a bummer because these are discs. So your onion is round, which means it can roll. This step will be slow going and kind of boring unless you can do this.
Hey, buddy. Hey, we're making onion rings. You want to make some onion rings? Is that a no?
While we're waiting, if you want to know the scientific reasons for freezing the onions, click on the link in the description for Mr. Lopez-Alt's explanation on the Serious Eats website. And since this freezing is going to take a while, 2 full days in my case, why don't you go buy his cookbook, The Food Lab? Or maybe just buzz on over to San Mateo to check out Worst Haul, or at least subscribe to his YouTube channel here on YouTube. I hope it's obvious that I'm not trying to profit off Mr. Lopez-Alt's work or claim that his recipe is mine. I'm just here to help all the visual learners out there. You know who you are. When your onions are glassy and shattered wine glass sharp, take them out of their bag and thaw them with some cool, running water. Carefully lay those rings out on a rimmed baking sheet covered with a clean towel. They will be unbelievably delicate and breakable, so this will take a while. Once you pat them dry, you need to remove the inner membrane of each ring. Removing this will prevent the onions from sliding out of the batter when you bite into them, and thus preventing those ripping hot tongues of limp onion from burning your chin. Removing all the membranes will take a while. Oh, one thing Mr. Lopez-Alt doesn't mention is that the membranes are sticky, in the way certain boogers can be sticky. You've been warned. Let's talk about the batter. There is some serious chemistry going on here, so don't get any ideas about leaving out any of these ingredients. In a bowl, mix together 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half a cup of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I emphasize the difference because I'm always paranoid about mixing them up, as in, on the day of filming, It says 1 teaspoon of baking powder, right? And lastly, half a teaspoon of paprika. I'm guessing you could probably guesstimate that, but I wouldn't count on it. In a separate bowl, we need to mix together our wet ingredients, vodka and beer. 1/4 cup of 80 proof vodka, I used Smirnoff because it was cheap, and 3/4 cups of light-ish beer. I use Sierra Nevada's BFD, which stands for beer for drinking, but when I drank it, this happened. So I am rechristening it BFF, beer for frying. Slowly whisk the wet and dry stuff together. You're going for the consistency of thick paint. I'm guessing Mr. Lopez-Alt was a homeowner when he wrote that, because I rent an apartment and can't tell the consistency of one paint from another. He also notes that you might not need all of the beer, but I needed extra for some reason. Let's get frying. In a large pan, heat a couple of quarts of oil to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Use a thermometer, a digital instant read, like this one. With oil at temp and batter all mixed, and onions at maximum floppiness, it's time to fry. Dip each ring individually in the batter, coating the whole thing. Let the excess drip off and slowly add to the fryer, paying special attention to the glorious sound carpet that is deep frying, and taking time to enjoy the sight of slow-mo bubbles blistering your chemically complicated beer batter. Salt the onion rings fresh out of the fryer, and enjoy with someone you love. Oh, you want one? Come on. Come on up here. What are you looking at? Here, have a drink. Cheers. Cheers.